Today I am sharing how I turn yarn into the most beautiful DIY angels for Christmas decor. Crafting brings me peace, and I hope this DIY brings you a little joy too. Hi, I'm Loli. Let's create something beautiful and find a little joy along the way. So my friend sent me a picture of these. She said she loved them and she wanted 4 of them. And what Janet wants, Janet gets. I love her to pieces. I'm going to use this yarn that I have in my stash. Janet wanted a blue one, a pink one, and 2 white ones. And we're going to use this one for the hair. For the body, we will be using this macrame cord that I got from Dollar Tree. It originally came in a bundle, as you see the yarn, but I put it onto a spool of ribbon. Then I took a piece of the macrame cord. This measured about 24 inches long. Here you'll see me how I'm going to double it up. And here you'll see that it is the same size as my ruler, which is 12 and it's double, so it will be 24 inches long. Now I'm going to take the macrame cord and I'm going to put it around my fingers. I'm going to spread my fingers for as wide as I want the bow to be. I wrapped it twice around my hand. That way I will have 2 loops. And I'm going to take that tail that I had remaining and put it in between my 2 fingers here. So I have it spread out into 4 fingers. Once I got here, I'm wrapping here to the 3rd one. I'm wrapping it behind and into the middle, as you see there. Then I'm going to come in under that loop that I created. And I'm going to pull that right there on the center to do a bow. And I'm making sure that the other tail is also looking in the same direction. And I am left with this 2 loop bow. Making sure that's nice and tight and everything is pretty much symmetrical. And here we have the bow. We're going to spread it out and there's going to be the 2 little wings right there. Then I'm going to cut this tail to make them even. And I'm going to knot the end of each one of those tails. It is easier said than done. This one was trying to fray as I was going along, trying to put it through the hole. So make sure that all the hairs are through so you don't end up with a mangled mess. And I did the same thing with the other side as well. Then I took another piece of macrame cord and I'm going to cut, I would say it's about 12 inches long. Here I'm not measuring too much because I can always measure it later on. I can cut as I need. I wasn't sure if I was going to make these different sizes, so I'm just doing it long enough so I can decide later what to do. I'm just going to go ahead and tie this one on the other side, to see there. Making sure that the knot is centered and towards the bottom and that the legs are both side to side and straight. And for now, I decided to tie the bottom of these as well, although I don't think I'm going to go this big, but I'm just tying it in place just to avoid any kind of fraying. And I did that with both sides and trimmed off the excess right here. Now we're going to put this to the side for now. I'm going to start using the pink yarn. I took this Dollar Tree calendar thing and I'm going to wrap my yarn around it about 20 times. Once I did that, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess, doing it from here from the bottom, making sure that it is as even as possible. Once that was cut like that, we're going to hold it in place, put it to the side, and I repeated this twice. Now I'm going to take some more of that macrame cord and I'm going to put one that will become the hanger on the top. So I just wrap it on the opposite side, making sure that it was centered, or that middle of the ribbon was at the center of that piece of macrame cord. And I just tied it with a single knot, making sure again that my knot is on the top section of the bow instead. And I made sure it was nice and tight. And at the same time, centered as well. Once I was happy with this one, I created 3 more of those 2 loop bows. But here I got smarter. I decided to do a different technique when it came to the 2 pieces going from the top and bottom of the bow. I took the macrame cord and I folded it in half, created a loop. I put that towards the back of the bow and fed the tails through it. Then I took a different piece of macrame cord that was long enough for the feet, and I'm going to loosen up that macrame cord here in the bottom. I'm going to feed that second piece of macrame cord through those 2 loops right here. I hope you can see this nice and clear. I made sure that it was nicely centered, and then I tightened up that top loop again, and this gave me the hanger from the top and also the 2 legs that I need. And I repeated the same thing with the other two as well. Now that the bodies are done, I took the blue and did the same thing as these, and I did twice with the white. Now let's build the sucker up. Let's see. We're going to start with the beads here. The beads were too small, so I ditched them. And I'm going to take these right here that I got from a pack from a local thrift shop, put them on a skewer and painted it with some of this Anita's paint in the color tan. This is what they look like when I was done. But the holes were too small for these thick macrame cords. So I had to go back to the drawing board and ended up replacing all of these with a different cord. I'm going to use the cord that I showed you in the beginning, this one right here, that I'm going to use for the hair. And we're gonna go ahead and loop again the bottom cords on there as well. So here you can see exactly what I mean. I just replacing that one that I have looped with this thinner one. And I did that for all of my pieces. Now we are able to thread it. To thread it easier, I took some hot glue, put it on the tip of it, and I am just making sure that that tip is nice and stiff. I did make it longer because the beads are longer. That way I have a stiff end to go into that tiny hole. And that sounds so wrong, guys. I can't. But anyway, please keep a clean mind. I added the hot glue right here just so I have kind of like a pointy edge. If you're not able to do this, I have no feelings on my fingers, so I understand if you can't. Just go ahead and put some tape on the edges instead, and then go ahead and thread it. Or you can put it on a nice big needle as well to be able to thread that in. Because the thing is, if it's too flaccid there, you won't be able to go through the entire bead. And I repeated the same thing with the remaining ones as well. And now it's time to get them nice and dressed. We're going to go ahead and add these on opposite sides of the head, trying to crisscross it. So you're going to cross it on here. Make sure that your little hand piece or the first or the shoulder of the tails of the bow is on your right hand side here when you're putting this piece to the opposite. So you're starting from the right hand side of the neck of this, and you're angling it towards your opposite hand. Then you're going to take the other piece, put it opposite to the head on here. We're going to try to create a kimono effect here, kind of crisscrossing the yarns. But you got to make sure that you hold it nice and taut so everything stays defined and you don't have a mangled mess. Also making sure that those two ends going down in the middle of our piece, and we do not carry it over with the other yarn. Once we have that top defined and taut, we are going to go ahead and just hold it tightly in place, making sure our head is right in place as well. And I'm going to take a piece of the same cord that I'm using for the top section here and tie these two pieces together. Friend, if you're enjoying this content, please let me know in the comment section below. Give this video a like. It truly helps a lot as well. And if you will consider also subscribing and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you each time that I upload a new video. All these things are free and they mean the world to me. Thank you so much. All right, once I was done struggling there and I was able to loop that, I'm going to just go ahead and tighten it up. The trick here is to hold it in place. I had to ask my son to help me tighten it. So you're going to need an extra hand right here to tighten that up so nothing moves as you're doing this. And once I was happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and do a double knot. And we are going to go ahead and reposition our head down. And then it's starting to look like something, right? We have the top section here. We have our skirt. And I decided to do a third knot because I'm going to cut off that excess and I didn't want that to come unravel. So here is our pretty little fairy. Is it a fairy or is it an angel? I think it could be both, right? You see how cute the hands look? It's coming together. All right, anyway, let's get, the legs are right here. So we're going to put those to the side. I'm going to trim now the edges of those tassels just with my scissors, making sure that everything is symmetrical and that I do not cut off those legs. So just go ahead and trim this, and here you can leave it as long or as short as you like. And what I'm doing to this one, I did to the others as well. And here they are. If you see in the first one, I already trimmed the bottom section and knotted them. I'm going to be doing that with the rest later on. But for now, I'm going to create the hair. For the hair, I'm using this yarn that's a lot thinner, and I did about 20 revolutions using this yarn right here. And I cut it just like I did with the tassel that I did for the body. Now I'm opening up that loop there that I had in the top. I am putting the hair or the yarn over that bead, making sure that it is centered there with the hole where the bead is, and that the hair is going in the direction that it will be. You know what I mean? You'll see the face right here. I'm putting it in the right direction. And then I undid the top section and did a double knot over that yarn and made sure that it was nice and tight so the hair will not move around. Then I knotted the hook as you see right here, and I cut off the section that I had added the hot glue on. And then we're going to give it a nice haircut. So here you can make the hair as long as you want, or you can go ahead and trim it as I did. I'm just going to hold it in place, making sure to comb it out so I have everything in the same length. And then I trimmed it according to the length that she showed me in the picture. And I did the same thing with the other three as well. And then I unraveled the bottom portion of the skirts. I did that to the blue and to the pink. Friend, if you enjoyed this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button and let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. I love to know how far my videos are reaching. And share, because sharing is caring and it helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and clean up the hands a little bit. I prefer the look of them being short versus this portion with the frayed edge. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off all the frayed edges from the hand portion, making sure that it's nice and flush, but also be sure that your knots are pretty secure before you do this step. The wings were kind of flapping around a little bit, so I took a little bit of hot glue and I put it in one of the sides, like the bottom wing, and place the edge of the other one on top of it. This kind of kept the form right here, like the little wings. And I did that with all of them. Some of them, they were kind of circling or curling up. So I straightened them as best as I could and stuck them together so it will be nicely positioned. And once I did that, then I also secure in the hands so that way they don't become hidden on the skirt of the angel. We're just going to place them here. Just be sure that the skirt is nice and straight before you do that. And that is it for this one. Let me know in the comment section what you think about these. I absolutely love them. Let me know also which one of these is your favorite. Do you love the first one, which is this blue one right here, the pink one right here, or you prefer the white ones? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, here are a couple more videos you are sure to enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're amazing. Bye.